Hi, this is the Fairphone Gen 6 Plus, and it is basically exactly the same as the previous Gen 6, but with two changes. Firstly, the RAM has gone up from 8GB to a whole of 12GB with the 6 Plus. Secondly, the system chip has been upgraded from the not so super fast Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 to the somewhat faster Gen 4. Two more small changes is also that the price has gone up slightly to €649, £569, or $649 US. And yes, the newest Fairphone is now also sold in the US, which is a first. So what do you actually get for that money then? Well, looking at the phone itself, you get the exact same look as the normal Gen 6, but now also with a blue color called Cobalt Blue, which is the one I've tested here. The phone also comes in a black and a green version. You also get the same accessories that you can just screw on to the back or snap onto the back of the phone, just like before. That being a card holder, a finger loop that sadly does not work extra as a phone stand, a lanyard, a protective case, a flip case, and a screen protector if you want that. All the new accessories also fit the old phone and vice versa. The feel of the phone is a little bit plasticky, just like before, and the edges are still pretty sharp. However, personally, I really do like this design, and the phone is also very light and easy to hold. An interesting design choice here is the flush screen lock button on the side of the phone that indeed looks really nice. However, it is a little bit finicky that the fingerprint unlock sensor is also included in the button, and since your thumb naturally rests on the button, it at least in my case has unlocked the phone unintentionally a number of times. Anyway, above the screen lock button you also get the same little slider button as we had on the normal Gen 6 that turns on the so-called Moments mode that acts kind of like a phone detox mode where you can decide which apps or functions that should be allowed to be used when a specific moment mode is active. A nice feature that works as intended, I would say. As for performance, the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 is absolutely okay for what it is. There are, however, some small slowdowns here and there, and running the most graphically intense games on high graphics settings is a little rough on the phone. But for everyday use and most normal games too, it works without issues. The OLED screen with a variable refresh rate from 10 to 120 Hz is also nice and sharp. However, the automatic brightness adjustment setting is somewhat wonky at times. The brightness is though perfectly decent even for outside use. Battery life is about 2 days, and a 25-minute charge with a 30-watt charger fills the almost 4,500 mAh battery up to 50%, which is perfectly decent. The two cameras on the back, a 50-megapixel main one and a 30-megapixel ultra one, together with the 32-megapixel selfie friend on the front, has though not received any updates at all. And whilst they are still okay when the light is good, the images in a just slightly darker environment quickly gets a bit washed out. The selfie camera though is actually quite nice. A limitation of the system chip here is also that video recording unfortunately gets limited to only 30 FPS in 4K resolution, which is, to be honest, a little bit low even here. So if you want 60 FPS, you do need to drop the resolution down to full HD instead. Software wise, there's also a new photo app for storing and viewing your photos and videos. A nice touch to not have to share everything with Google like earlier. As for the OS, the phone runs Android 16 with 17 coming pretty soon, I reckon, and apart from Google's normal apps, this is about as de-bloated as a phone gets today, which is great. So to sum the performance and the actual smartphone side up here, if you want the most performance for your hard-earned cash, don't get this phone at all. You can actually get the same performance for almost half the price if you want to do that. So then why am I still talking? Well, because that is of course not what Fairphone is about. It is about that the phone is both produced with 50% recycled materials under good working conditions, and that it is also backed by a massive 5-year warranty and the possibility to yourself replace anything from the cameras and the charging port to the battery and the screen, even without affecting the 5-year warranty. Software updates are also industry leading, with support stretching all the way to a minimum of 2033. And well, challenging the manufacturing industry usually ends up in a higher priced end product. Something that is though equally true for most other industries as well. Then it's basically where on the line between go all workers' rights and prevent more e-waste and I want the most performance for my money you are, that decides whether this phone is indeed something for you or not. Personally, I would have wanted a slightly speedier system chip that better integrated with the camera setup, but apart from that, I really do like this phone. It's not the fastest by a long shot, but it is perfectly decent to use, and the production, longevity and repairability aspects are indeed class leading. Alright, those are my thoughts on the Fairphone Gen 6 Plus. Please share any of your thoughts or questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching. Bye.